Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I have a tutorial on how to make this milk carton box. I'm going to show you how to decorate it and make it an elegant gift presentation, or also appropriate for a child. And all you need is one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you're going to cut this down to 7.5 by 10.5. This is the 10.5 inch side. And we're going to go ahead and do some scoring. Okay, did I put my score tool? Yep, got it right here. And we're going to score at 2.5, at 5, 7.5, and 10. Okay, we're going to turn it, and we're going to score it on the short side at 2.5, 5.25, and 7. Next up, we're going to turn it back, and we're going to find the center of two of these rectangles. And first it'll be this one, and since these are 2.5 inch square rectangles, that means that we need to, the center will be at 1.25. So I'm going to mark that, and then same thing on this, that's this square here, and then this second square over, we're going to mark that in the center as well. So that'll be at 1.25. Okay. And the reason we marked those two squares is because we want to make some score lines to make our little box, this portion here on our box. So I'm going to get a ruler, and I have just a piece of cardboard just to help cushion the score line just a little bit, since I can't really use my scoreboard for this. And I'm going to score from this corner here to our mark. Okay, and then turn it this way and do that on the other side of that rectangle. Alright, and then let's go ahead and do it on this square as well. They're not really squares, but they're rectangles since our box is 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, that one. And let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. Now we're going to cut away a few sections of our box. And the first thing we're going to cut is this section here. Okay, so this top box and this little flap. So we're going to cut that away. And I always like to cut on the outside of my score line. So cut this one. And then the next piece we're going to cut off is this section down here on this bottom square. Okay. Next up, we're going to cut our little flaps for the bottom of our box, and we're just going to cut up to that first score line. Now remember that small section at the top, that's a 1/2 inch score line, that's our top of our box. So we want to cut on the opposite end, these 3 score lines. And now we're just going to do our folding. And let's crease our score lines. And then let's go ahead and fold these lines as well that we made for our little indentation in our box that kind of forms our milk carton look. trying not to go past that little intersection there. So, okay, so now we have that. And now we're going to add some adhesive to this flap here. So now I've added some strong red line tape to this flap, and I'm going to go ahead and peel these back and then fold our box and start assembling it. Let's see. And all you have to do is fold it in half, have the flap down, and then just line up the two ends together. Okay, and that's our box. I've also added it to the bottom flaps. And let's go ahead and just release the backing for that and start closing up our box. Thought I was going to be able to get away with just adding one strip of adhesive, but looks like I need it on all four sides. Do that. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and add our decorative piece at the bottom, because we're going to be decorating it with the white and gold cardstock for our elegant little box. Let's add that to the bottom. And here is the top of the box, and as you can see, since we scored our little gussets there, we can just close it up, and there we have our milk carton. Alright, so I've gone ahead and cut some pieces of cardstock to fit on the sides of my box. So let's go ahead and add some glue and start decorating our box. And I'm going to do that to all four sides. Next, I'm going to add a piece of decorative cardstock here and here, so you only need two pieces for that, and also for that little strip at the top. Got some cardstock cut out for that. So add this here. And a little strip at the top, and I'll do the same on the other side. So let's move on the items that I'm going to use to finish decorating my box. I had these pearls in my stash. They're a recollection pearl from Michaels. This paper punch, it's by McGill, and it makes this little starburst sun punch here. So I went ahead and punched it with some gold cardstock, added a pearl to the center, and these are one of my handmade satin flowers that I had in my stash. I do have a tutorial on how to make this. I'll try to link it in the description box. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some hot glue to the center and then add this little embellishment there. I think that makes a nice little center. And then I cut 2 tags with one of my dies, a gold and then a white one. I think it makes it look a little bit more substantial if you have a couple of these hanging. You can write your message on that or stamp something on the gold, a sentiment of some sort. But I was thinking this would be a great presentation for someone that enjoys tea. You could add tea bags into the box along with some little milk packets, the powdered type, and I think that would make a nice little presentation for that since it's a pretty little box. So I'm going to go ahead and just staple my box shut, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish decorating the front of it with just these few embellishments, and I think that'll pretty much cover it. I'm going to add a little bit of glue. I've added some twine to the little tags, and then I'm just going to adhere it, I think, right there. So add a little more glue using hot glue here, and then adhere that. Lots of ways to decorate your little box, but I think that looks really cute, and I can't wait to fill it up with some goodies and give it to one of my friends. So thanks for joining me today on this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care.